Hi, everyone. Welcome to Merch Money, our last show of 2018.
Crazy.
I can't believe it.
Unreal.
It went so fast. But anyway, it has been such a fun year, and I'm just so grateful to Brianna and both Amy's that they've done this whole thing with me. It's been amazing.
What a whirlwind, right? Like, when did we start?
We started in April. So I think it was April 15th. Like it was in the middle of April. So we haven't even been doing it a whole year, but it feels like a lifetime ago that we started it. Like I can't even remember what life was like before Merch Money.
Well, like, Helen, have I ever told you guys like the real, like what I thought when we started? Like,
no.
Well, first of all, we didn't even, the girls, we didn't know each other, right? And like when you sent me an initial message, I don't even think I read the whole thing. I was just like, I kind of got the gist of it. And I was like, yeah, let's do it. And like, I was like, I don't know if I thought like you wanted to like go live and we were going to do an interview thing or what. And then, like as it unfolded, like
you're like, wait, this is a weekly show I committed to?
Yeah. No idea.
That's so funny. No, I didn't know that. That's hilarious.
It's ended up.
I was wondering why it was so easy. I was like, why did she just agree so easily? I'm like, awesome.
I was totally like, yeah, let's do it. Sure. And then I was like, oh, baby, what did I sign up for?
Oh my God, that's so funny. I love how everything just works out because I was so surprised that everyone said yes. Now I know why. But yeah, it was so much easier than I thought to get it going, and it was just.
It's been fun. We've gotten to like talk to so many amazing people too, and then the relationship that we've been able to build with one another.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
Yeah, I'm so happy.
And how long have we been talking about Q4?
We've talked about Q4 the whole
time.
Like I feel like we have like different seasons now.
But listen, we'll take a week off and we'll start talking about Q4 again in January 8th.
I got my Q4 plan for 2018.
I think it really helped people though, because we started talking about it in July, and then you started hearing more people talk about it. But it really got everybody like amped up and like uploading, because in the summer it's hard, like you're doing other things. So I think that really helped people to be prepared for a good Q4.
Yeah,
I remember feeling like I was talking about it like all the freaking time on my Power Punch lives every day, and then it's just like I was stopped for a bit because I was in it, And thinking, I was like, you guys remember that I started talking about this in like April, May? Get ready for Q4. Are you ready? Did you listen?
I was like hardcore going for it in the summer, and then it's like you never quite stop, which is good. Like you're still getting ready, but like I kind of thought I would slow down once it was actually Q4, but nope, kept going.
I'm like literally still uploading. Like I squeaked in here at like 8 and 20 seconds after, because I was like, wait, I think I could get one more in. No, I can't. It's 8 o'clock. I gotta go.
Yeah. I'm excited even for Q1. Like I've been uploading. I switched over to uploading stuff for Q1 a couple weeks ago, and it's I'm excited for it.
Well, listen, that's like one of the things that I've thought a lot about too, is like, yeah, like Q4 is amazing in retail in general, and just for selling products and stuff. But like, how cool will that be to potentially like do something else or build a brand that maybe isn't so reliant on just Q4? Like Q4 could be a bonus, like something that's constantly popping and bringing excitement and thrills and passion to your life, keep you interested.
Yeah. Well, I think having the balance out there too of like all these different things going on, platforms and like you said, your brand, and just trying to be on multiple things without stressing yourself the heck out, but just diversification for sure.
Yeah, because I think there's a nice balance between going crazy with it and then being like way too scared to even try. It's like everybody kind of falls along that spectrum somewhere. I fall on the press all the buttons, get crazy, melt down, take it down a notch, figure it out. you know, and then there's other
Learn.
people, learn, evolve, you know, revise things. And then there's other people I think that like, you know, you don't want to live with regrets that you never tried it, even if it's, you know, difficult or scary.
Mhm.
So.
Yeah.
I think it's a nice thing to see the stuff you do in business, and the way you think about it in your mind is also transcending through your goals and through your personal life too. Like I find myself doing things I might not necessarily have done if I hadn't taken risks in business and built that esteem up. Yeah.
Yes, totally. I agree on that one for sure.
Absolutely. So what do you guys want to start with? Do you want to start with a recap of this year? Like our things that we feel like we did well and things we could have done better? Yeah. And then we could go into 2019.
Lead us off, Helen.
All right. So 2018, I mean, my favorite thing I did this year was reach out to all of you guys to do Merch Money. That's been by far my thing that I'm happiest, you know, proudest of this year. I think it's just been so fun, and we've all grown so much, and especially me. Like I've just really, I think this has really helped me a lot. And it's been so fun to see everybody else's journey too, like all the people in the group, everybody's grown and having fun. So that's my favorite thing this year. But then with merch itself, I don't even know for sure if I hit 2,000 tier yet. I think I hit 2,000 sometime in January, I think. I can't remember for sure. But definitely when we started the show, I was still at 2,000 tier. And now I'm at 6K tier. So I definitely grew. I was expecting to grow faster. So that was like a little bit of a, you know, my goal for the year was 10K tier. So I do that goal. But I feel like I learned a lot. And I feel like when I got Merch Wizard, that really, really helped, because then I started analyzing data, and analyzing my sales made me realize like all the different problems there were. Like there were so many shirts that were just not listed at all, which I didn't know. So I think Amazon, after a certain amount of time, like will just not like take your listing down or not show it or something if it hasn't sold in a while. So anyway, I went through all of my old listings, repriced it, changed keywords, like finally touched things that I had not repriced in 2 years or hadn't touched at all, and switched it up. So now those are selling again. So that was a big help. And then AMS ads. I had done like 1 or 2. I started really focusing on that towards the end of the year. So that going into 2019, that'll be a big difference. So I think those were my biggest mistakes, is not analyzing data, but it was also my greatest achievement, because at the end of the year, I figured out how to do that and did much better with that. And then also learning how to upload faster. So I used Merch Wizard to help, but there's a lot of other ways too. But, you know, I went from being able to do like 20 in a day to being able to do 400. And that's going to be such a huge difference next year, just how fast they can upload now. So I'm excited, but that's my recap of this year for myself. So
nice.
Who wants to go next?
I'll go. I'm the only one unmuted, I think. So Amy Nicholas, Marketing Mayhem Girl, and I'll talk big wins, and then I'll go into things I'll do differently. But big wins, getting really heavily involved with journals, KDP Print, which was formerly Create Space, maximizing slots on merch. That seems to always be like, if you don't know what to do on merch, you're like, I'm stuck at this level of I don't know what to do next. Just freaking fill your slots. Like that's like the dummy move that can basically help you get to the next level. Even if you don't know what you're doing and you're uploading crap, at least you are taking action. AMS ads, like you said, also, I was very, very excited to get my account the second time because I had the first one last year. And so since mid-October till now, I was looking at my reports this morning for lifetime, which is only 2 months. And I'm down to like a 12% ACOS, which it was like more than double that like a month ago. So really good stuff. Etsy made some new bold daring kind of moves over on Etsy, and it's been paying off. Probably still going to keep it as like my third thing with print on demand, third or fourth. The other thing we're doing heavily is Amazon and Shopify, and I'm teaching a workshop next month for people to learn that, basically the integrations and stuff. And that's just been a nice consistent income. There's some months where, you know, I don't see a heck of a lot coming in, but I think as long as you just keep uploading, just as if you're doing merch, it pays itself, you know, definitely at Q4. I had one product just selling like every day, dozens of them. So I'm like, okay, that's a winning product. And so all those things, but you know what I'm really most proud of is just reaching out to the communities, helping people, doing daily content, my Power Punch Facebook Lives that I do every day, although today was on YouTube for my YouTube crowd. So feel free to subscribe. I think my YouTube's in the link.
Yeah, right? It is. Yeah, subscribe to all of us. And
then and starting up my own store with just helping people doing research by offering research bundles on merchmoneymaster.com. I've just gotten a lot of like feedback, and people are like sending me messages. Like Stephanie's in the chat, and she just messaged me today. She got tiered up to 2K, and I feel like she just messaged me. Awesome. Yeah, so yay, Stephanie. I feel like she had just messaged me not that long ago, like, you know, oh, thanks, Amy, your videos are great. And then I just went to 1K. Now she's at 2K, and I'm like, time flies, you know? So, but that's all been more rewarding. And what I'll do differently for next year is just keep giving back. Just keep focusing on helping other people and not worrying about my numbers. Because to be honest, from like January to April, I was so focused on myself, my numbers or lack thereof, and worrying and stressing myself out that I just wasn't as efficient and productive as I could have been. But having the faith, believing things were going to get better, listening to the right people, opened doors for me. And then you came along, Helen, and was like, you want to do this show? And yeah. And you encouraged me to start the Power Punch Lives on Facebook. So thank you for that.
Aw, you're welcome.
And all you ladies, group hug, virtual.
Group hug. Sorry, I was just trying to type. I'm like the worst with typing in the chat and paying attention. That's why it's like usually I ignore the chat and just pay attention to what's happening on the show because I can't do both. I was like writing a simple sentence and still got delayed.
I'm always listening, and like I try to put mute on, and then I can't find the unmute button.
But anyway, yeah, it's been so awesome to meet all of you guys. So who wants to go next?
Yeah,
Bree, you're unmuted.
I finally found unmute, so we'll go with it. Man, what a crazy year 2018 has been. Some amazing relationships, business relationships, and friendships that have been built. I would say like the highlights for sure have been Merch Money and meeting you girls. And then that brought into my life Duncan and Aaron, and eventually Christina and Ryan and the D4D team. And like I never in a million years could have foreseen in January and February and March even. Let's see, where was I in March? Vegas. I did Vegas ASD. I had no clue what would unfold over the next several months. Like not on my radar at all. And that's why this industry, this lifestyle is so freaking amazing, because so many really, really cool things can happen if you let them happen. And if you kind of like, just kind of like open yourself to the universe, I guess I would say. Like, I don't know. It's weird. It's weird how things have turned out. And like a lot of people don't even know, even though it's only been a short period of time. I mean, I started out the beginning of this year as a co-owner of VA Rentals and Elite Product Sourcing, something that I built with Jeremy and Bob over 3 years' time. And so, you know, my past was really, really active with like Amazon FBA and the reseller world. And so while I've been in print on demand and merch and everything for the same amount of time, it's just been fun to like really pivot things and kind of run in a little bit of a different direction, you know, take those pieces with me, take some of that with me. I'm like, I guess just because I'm a lifelong learner, I'm just curious. I love to build things and I love to learn new things, and so that's, you know, that's what I'm looking at bringing with me into 2019. Which, are we elaborating on that yet, or what?
I think not yet. I think we're just doing a recap of this year, and then we'll go through again and talk about goals for 2019.
I was gonna say this is gonna get a little lengthy, so
we'll take a pause and then get back.
Perfect. Yeah, it's just been an amazing year, guys. And like with traveling, like I can't even, like, how many, I was able to speak at Midwest Ecom. So I was in Minneapolis. I spent time in Seattle when Amazon headquarters flew me in. I was able to be in Chicago recently. It's been a wild year, and I'm just thankful. I'm thankful for the opportunity, and I'm thankful too with D4D. Like, I just didn't foresee what it's turning into. And like, we have employees, we have researchers, we have designers and artists, we have community members and partners, and it's cool. And it's like a family feel, you know, a bunch of weirdos all working together. We're all like-minded individuals, you know,
I love
kind of in this untraditional lifestyle. So
I love it.
It's been cool.
And I just totally, as an aside, I saw Dennis Duncan's video of him singing that Christmas song.
Isn't that amazing?
That was amazing. I'm like, oh my God.
I don't know how many people even know that about him.
Yeah.
That like he has an extensive background in the music industry.
Yeah.
And like signed to a record label, like he's had albums, like yeah. He's very talented. Yeah, if you haven't heard that.
And Lori too, is that that was who was singing with him, right? Is that her name?
No, that I forget.
Oh, somebody else.
I want to say Deanna, maybe. I could have the name wrong, but like, did you hear her singing?
Her voice was so good. I was like, oh my God.
Like gives you chills.
Both of them were so good.
And that just goes to show you too that Duncan, I know zilch about the music industry. Yeah. I am not musically inclined. I played percussion in middle school. Like I was like the skinny little bony chick dragging my huge snare drum around with me in like 5th grade, right? Like, and then I quit because I suck. But the point is, like, you know, he and I have very, very different backgrounds, but yet we have this commonality with our interest in entrepreneurship and like what we're doing at D4D. So when you put yourself out there to like meet other people and like see who you might connect with, you know, I'm going to be able to learn more about the music industry too.
Exactly. And who knows what opportunities will be there with that.
Yeah, won't see me singing, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, but you could be designing the shirts for all the different bands, or who knows.
Yeah. You never know.
You never know.
The stuff that the stories he has.
Oh, I bet.
They're awesome. So it was a good year. Great for on a lot of fronts, you know, and of course, like everybody else, I'm a normal, imperfect human being that, you know, failed miserably at all sorts of things as well, and had very public, you know, controversies with unwarranted controversies, I would say, with people. And, you know, like, it is what it is. It's part of life. Like, you know, I don't want to make it seem like everything was like rosy, picture perfect in 2018, because I'm a human too. And you know what, like, I put that post up the other day that, you know, there's crap you can think about that happened to you in the past year, or you can just say, who the hell cares? Like, it's done and it's over with. And like, there's bigger and better things coming. And
absolutely.
You move on. So I just like to keep it real.
Nice. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Like our successes and our failures, like they kind of go together. That's why it's like some of my failures from the beginning of the year, I feel like turned into successes. So like I wasn't looking at my data at all, like not at all, from 2015 when merch first started until like what, 3 or 4 months ago, whenever Merch Wizard was, like that whole time I mean, not really 2015 because I didn't put anything up, but whatever. Whenever I started, the end of 2016 until towards the end of this year, I never looked at data because there wasn't really easy ways to see your data.
Yeah.
So that was like kind of a failure, but kind of just, I didn't really know how to look at it. So,
well, it's hard, I think, to verbalize your failures sometimes because we're all super excited to post our numbers and like share what works right so that other people can do it. But it's not as easy, I guess, or as self-aware to be like, whoa, I totally sucked at this. I should share it so nobody else sucks as bad at it.
And
like, you know, and feel worse about yourself.
but the reality is we've all done it and we do it daily. Like if I think back on my journey to here, do you know how many online businesses I have built or online income streams I have dabbled in that sucked, made me no money, or failed? Like a lot. You know, you don't always get to hear about all of those things. So also when you're watching, like take that with a grain of salt. Like when we talk about our successes and things, there were just as many failures behind those.
Yeah, and a lot of times the failures are like leading to the successes. So it's like it's hard to know like when do you call it a failure and when do you call it a success? Like it's like you know, you're learning. So you're in the learning phase and like I don't know.
Sometimes you even back burner it. You back burner the failure and you're like, well, it's kind of sucked right now, but maybe I'll come back to it. And then you learn more and you're like, oh, wait a second. That idea, bringing it back, you know?
So. All right, Amy.
Okay, so the last year for me, I think this year, the biggest thing that like I've done and accomplished, with the exception of like getting completely out of my comfort zone and coming on here every week with you guys, which is, I mean, I can second everything y'all have said. You know, it's just been an absolutely amazing opportunity. We get to talk to great people every week, and you know, we get to support and encourage one another throughout our day-to-day stuff. So it's really been a blessing, and I'm very grateful to be part of this team with y'all. So that was a big step for me, was getting out here, because this is not anything I ever thought I would do, like get on camera and do lives unedited with you people, you know, but here we are and it's been great. Aside from that though, like my biggest things in 2018 has been just consistently learning and just trying new things and, just soaking in every little bit that I could possibly soak in, as far as like being, successful on merch and things like that, and just learning to take my time and not rush myself and enjoy the process. And you know, when things aren't going my way, being able to overcome that both like mentally and, you know, emotionally or whatever, because I mean, it's I look at merch as like it's my baby, you know, and I really want to nurture it, right? And if it's not doing what I want it to do, it can get kind of frustrating, but I've learned how to work through that and use that to my advantages even. And just doing something every single day. I talk to people all the time and it's like, what's that one bit of advice? And honestly, it's consistency and just keep going and learning and applying and testing and trying. And eventually it all pays off. And it's been really cool to see all of it come together this month. And I'm really grateful for this year and everything that I've learned, the people that I've gotten to form relationships with, the idea that this really, really can be something incredible that I can't even envision just how incredible it can be. It's very limitless, and I'm just really grateful. And like Bree said, I mean, there's a lot of failures in the background. You know, there's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears that goes into this sort of thing. It hasn't just been an easy ride, but it has been one heck of a roller coaster and a fun one. So
I was getting like emotional while you were talking.
I know, you're so awesome, and I'm just so happy. I'm so happy that you decided to do this show with us, because it's like, I'm just so happy you did.
Me too. And there were times like after I'd be like, should I be doing this? You know, I'm putting myself out there. Like I had to wrestle with a lot of self-doubt through these last, you know, since April, you know. but I'm glad that I get on here every week, and it's really been an honor. It really has.
Yay! I think we should talk about that a little bit, about the self-doubt thing, because I think it affects women more than men, but I don't know for sure. I think testosterone has something to do with like this like cocky, like confident kind of thing. And I think women a lot of times feel like they have to be like super amazing before they can do anything. Like for me, I was like, oh, I'm only at 2,000 tier. Like there's no way I could start a show. But then something inside me was like, well, who else is going to do it? Like nobody is doing this. So I'm like, oh, well, 2,000 tier is going to have to be good enough. And I reached out to you guys, and it's like, you have to overcome that voice where it's like, you're not good enough. It's like, well, you're never going to, there's always going to be people doing better than you. There's so many people doing better than me, but it's like, well, somebody had to do it. So it's like, I think women a lot of times, and men, but a lot of times you just kind of think like, oh, well, someone else will do it. I don't have a voice to say something. And I think that all of us kind of overcame that this year.
Well, it's like what Amy was saying when she was talking about things, because of doing this show and putting herself out there, and it's how and the businesses that she's grown through the years, it has helped, like the risks she's taken in those businesses has helped her gain more confidence in doing other things. And I can agree with that because of this show and definitely with merch and seeing like the different possibilities that they all offer us, it does help you to kind of like silent that voice quicker. Like you recognize when the doubt creeps in that you can turn it off just a little bit easier. I think.
I think the funny thing is like, what are we scared of when we're having that self-doubt? Like what, like really, like get down to the bottom of it, you know? What are we afraid? Yeah, like, are you afraid you're gonna do, X, Y? I ask myself that when I deal with self-doubt, and I'm open about the fact that like I really haven't been out there until the last like year and a half, because I struggled with that same thing, and I have anxiety that I've dealt with, and I'm like, what do people think of me? What are they gonna say? And it's starting this journey too. I can act very confident and then be off screen and then be like, oh, I'm so glad that it's over with. Like I have to like prep myself up for 3 hours to get on there. And then you start to figure out like, what was I so worried about? Just be yourself and share, and other people that resonates with will be drawn to that and want to like chat with you and form, like what we have, our print on demand family and community. And the people that don't, well, that's cool too, because you sucked anyway. Like,
I remember starting the Facebook Lives, and I was like, I gotta set a big goal for myself, because I don't like to come at things in a way that everybody does something. And I knew that hardly anybody would do something every day, Monday through Friday. And I said, if I can do that would set me apart, like as, oh, well, what does she got to say? Because there was a part of me that was like, do you have anything to say? Like at that time, I was like, 4K tier. And I'm thinking, I'm going to run out of stuff to talk about. And I'm like, you know what? Just take it day by day. And like every day there's something to talk about. And then I thought, well, I've reached all the people I might reach. Maybe they're kind of tired of me being on every day. Like, hey guys, daily print on demand power punch. And then it's only just grown. It's not diminished, or people haven't been like, tired of you. 160 some episodes. Get off the air.
We have to remember that we're on the 166 episodes, and that most of the time they catch little glimpses.
Yeah, exactly. You're right.
Of course, we have some amazing viewers though that are always with us all the time, which is awesome. But
I love my live viewers and my faithful replay viewers.
Yeah. It's so awesome. They're sitting there uploading or doing their business. It's like, it's nice to have that
camaraderie.
Hear people come on live.
And I would encourage people, like, if you, like, even if you're at like tier 100 and you're like, well, what value can I give back? How do I know anything? Well, you made it to 100. You got out of 25. You're that close to the people that are stuck in tier 25 that you could give some tips and advice. Like, hey guys, this was my journey. Maybe it's not the best route, but this is what I did. Now I'm here. Maybe this will help you. Like, I've encouraged people in a couple of my videos to post something that gives back to the community in your like favorite Facebook group, and just like hashtag it so I would see it, and or tag me, and people did that, and I was really impressed with people taking action on it, and just the kind of stuff they came out with, saying like, here's what I want to offer to the community.
I remember when you did that. That was so fun. I didn't realize you had said it at first, and I was like, wow, there's so many people giving great tips today. Like, what's going on? And then I realized that you had asked them to, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah, I started that little fire.
Yeah. So guys, try to, do that. Even if Amy doesn't tell you to do it, like,
Just don't do it.
Who's been naughty or nice?
One thing I found too is even in the lower tiers, when you're like, well, do I really have value? Actually, you do. And what I have found that the more that I collaborate and talk with other people, whether they're doing astronomically better than me, or they're right beside me, or they're in a lower tier, is we can collaborate in different ways that it benefits all of us. And you'll notice, like, you'll start growing even, I'm not going to guarantee you'll grow faster, but it almost seems that way when you are giving what value you do have, and everybody's got something to share.
And think about this too. Like, first of all, we all started there.
Yes.
So just because we're on tier 1,000 whatever doesn't mean that we weren't at tier, nothingness like some people are right now. And besides that, you have a whole lifetime of experience behind starting your print-on-demand business that some people don't even realize lends itself well to the print-on-demand business. So, hey, you're at tier 100 and you're sharing content with people. You might have some very relevant talent, skills, job, career experience that none of us have to completely shed light on this on print-on-demand and merch. So don't undervalue that as well.
And it takes the focus off of your own doubt and worry about, oh, I'm only making this much money and it's all about me. Instead of focusing on what you really should focus on, which is giving value to other people. Like, people get paid by bringing value to the marketplace, whether you're selling something or not. You get value. Like, if you give somebody a tip, and you don't get paid for this, okay, but you give somebody a tip that helps them increase their business, the universe will make it work in your favor that somebody else is going to come along and be like, hey, Amy, do this, this, and this. And that's going to catapult your business, or some other way. It's going to come to you somehow.
Yeah.
So don't ever think like, oh, well, how would I make money from this? Just think, how can I help somebody?
Yeah. And then it keeps you accountable too, to yourself and to that person that you're talking with.
And I did not do that at all the first 3 years of being an entrepreneur. Like, I gave no help to anyone ever. So nobody knew who I was.
But sometimes like, the atmosphere, sometimes depending on the group, like, it's not an atmosphere where you feel comfortable with it sometimes when you're new, No, like, you're like, oh, okay.
For me, it had nothing to do with the atmosphere. It had to do with me just being like, oh, well, I'm new. I don't know what I'm talking about. Or, oh, I don't have anything to offer. Or, oh, I'm busy or something. I don't know.
That self-doubt again.
Yeah. I had really bad self-doubt and really bad depression and all of it, negative talk, all of it. And so then, but Amy was helping people and posting things. And that's how I reached out to her to start the group with me, because I knew who she was. I mean, she didn't know who I was, but I reached out to her because of her post. So you never know and then now with all these shows, like, people, some of the FBA people I knew in the past, even though, whatever, they know me now, they reached out, I got a local merch deal from it. So it's like, just never know what's going to happen. And, just put yourself out there.
And make sure it's something that you love to do. Like, if somebody had said, well, Amy, you do all these videos, but maybe you should do blog posts, I'd be like, I don't want to do no blog posts. I do not blog. I tried it. I hated it. Sorry, guys. The most you'll see is little snippets on Facebook of like, here's some tips. But I realized that staying true to what I enjoyed doing, which was the live videos and not recorded and then put up on YouTube later, that kept me going with it too, because I enjoyed the process and the live interaction, people asking questions, making comments. Like, it just makes it way more fun, especially when you're like an isolated entrepreneur on your computer all day.
Yep.
So reach out and touch someone, as AT&T used to say.
My dad works there. He's in the chat. They're doing their Christmas tree right now.
My mom used to work there. In Virginia too.
See how you said used to? Most people, it's like used to. Like
yeah.
He's worked there for 35 years.
Wow.
He has seen the full progression of all computers.
Yeah, I think my mom was there for like 15 or 20. She was laid off like in the 90s. Like,
yeah, he was worried about getting laid off the entire time that I was about to say since I've known him, which is kind of true. Like he worked at AT&T the whole time I knew him. But it's amazing that he's been there and grown with all the changes over the years. But yeah, so do you guys want to start talking about what you want to do in 2019?
I just want to point out real quick, Beverly gave us all new names. Awesome merch, positive karma merch, sweet merch, and upbeat merch. If you scroll,
I see it,
Beverly. Comments. Yeah.
Aww.
Thanks, Beverly.
I love that.
That is so cute.
And all of them are good names.
I was going to say, I'm like, who gets which name? But I like them all. So.
Lance says screw blogging.
Yeah. How many people forced themselves to try to blog when it was like hot and trending?
Yeah. Been there.
So we're talking failures. Sorry.
What'd you say?
Helen, you said we're going to go into the failure stuff? Or
I think we kind of did a little bit we kind of each talked on like what I don't know. If you have more things to say, definitely. But you could touch on it for what your goals are for 2019. Because if you had something that didn't go well, like what are you doing to change it for 2019? You want me to go first? Or
yeah, you go first.
Okay. So 2019, one thing I'm really excited about is to go to more conferences and have more meetups. So the first one is in January, and I'm actually going to get to speak at it. So that's very exciting. Yes. The UK, Merch UK one. So that's very exciting.
Helen did not see that one coming.
Exactly. Like you never know what's going to happen. And I'm just so excited to go meet everybody in UK because it's like, they're at the ground floor basically. I mean, it's just started there. So, and just started in Germany. So it's really fun to go talk to everybody and that'll be great. So I'm really excited for all that this year. I said 4 to 6 just to pick a number, but however many I can do would be great for conferences and meetups and things. So I'm excited about that. And then for merch, to hurry up and get to the 10K tier. That was supposed to already happen. So things that I'm going to change is, of course, looking at data more often, like I've been doing the last few months. That has helped a lot. Really helped like just seeing what shirts are doing really well and then adding a few more. So, I mean, it's just so basic and simple. Like, of course, do that. But it's like I wasn't doing it because I wasn't looking at my data. I was just uploading. And it was, that was great. It got me to 6K. But it helps when you can get something to really catch because then you can sell a lot more. So that's the part I was missing. I didn't have any big trends that caught or any big things. It was just all like slow and steady, which is fine, but I want to have a few more like big trends. So things that have hit well, now I'm adding like the inverse of it. So if it's white font on dark colors, now I'm doing dark font on light colors, and then just, other, maybe just a different font or adding a graphic, like just adding a few more that are similar but different. And I've been adding it to the AMS campaign that I already have. So I have like a t-shirt that's doing well on AMS, and then I just add more products to that exact same campaign that are similar. And so far that's been working for me. So I want to do more of that. And starting a brand, that's going to be the main thing. So brandability starts in January. I'm going to be I'm excited for that. I'm going to be taking that class. And helping everybody along, whoever's doing it with me, because I'm new to starting a brand. So I'm gonna be doing that, and I'm just really excited for that. So that's a 12-week program. I'm gonna go through the whole 12 weeks, and then my plan is just to start over again and do the class again the next 12 weeks and start another brand because I want to have 2 going and build those 2 for the next year or two. Like I really want to build up 2 separate brands, 2 separate companies at the same time, because I'm sure that one of them will do better than the other for whatever reason. And so I just want to have 2 going at the same time, so I can kind of see like what's working, what's not working, test things on each one. And then my plan is to sell one of them. I really want to build up an asset and have the experience of like starting a company and selling a company. So, I want to do both of those in 2019, and then either 2020 or 2021 sell one of them. So yeah, those are my main 3 goals for this year.
Big stuff.
Yeah. Exciting stuff.
I'll go since I was second.
Yeah.
So I have like a really big gutsy goal because I watched a video by Holton Bugs. If you go on YouTube, he has a crazy name. It's like Holton Bugs. And watch his video. It's like an hour and a half long. I forget what it's called, but you'll kind of tell from the title. It's something you should watch. He said the thing he wished he had did sooner before he got really successful was to think way bigger, way bigger. Believe bigger. And I was thinking, I started writing out some plans for 2019, and I was like, this is all what, like, I follow Bob Proctor, and he would call these like A-type goals where you can hit them. And then there's like the C-type goals, because like B is in the middle. Okay, I don't know how to do it. I'll figure it out. C is like, woo, like I don't know. That's so far off my horizon. I have no idea how this is gonna happen. But I was like, Amy, you need to kind of sit down and really write some goals out. And one of the things I really want to do that I feel is like kind of on my heart is to help 50 people quit their jobs during 2019 to build a print-on-demand empire that gives them the financial freedom that can continue, not just like, oh, I made enough money this month, I could quit my job. No, continuous financial freedom. Because I did it, even though I didn't know how I was going to do it several years ago. It was through a different business, but now I'm doing print on demand. This is my full time. I'm not doing the other business anymore. This does pay the bills, and then some. So that's kind of like one of the big goals in there. Systematizing everything, bringing as many people along with me for the ride as possible. So if you guys are, amped, you want to do big things with your life, you're sick of being in the stupid 8 to 5 or whatever you're in. Like, I just believe that people are worth more than that, and that they don't necessarily believe it for themselves. They see other people do it. Yay for them. Wish I could do that, but I can't. And it's like, no, like you must change your self-talk and your beliefs. And I feel like from about April to now, I've been floating on what I call blind faith. Like just not knowing what the heck was going to be in front of me, but I'm like, I don't care. I'm going to believe in it. And then it's just like the little tiles come up, like in Indiana Jones when he's walking across.
Oh, such a good description. Oh my God.
Just like, it's there because he took that first step, and you're just like you have to kind of, you don't even necessarily have to believe it inside first. You just have to like profess it and just act as if like you're almost faking it. And that sounds weird and hooey or whatever, but that's what I've been doing, and it's been working out really well. Blind faith. So
yeah. Faith is a big one, and that's been interesting. I think I've said that before with my family or other people. Like, I had so much trouble with faith throughout my whole life. Like, I just have not been a faith person at all. Like, I wanted to be in control. Like, everything I did I had to understand what was going on and be in control of it. And like, for some reason, being an entrepreneur like that has taught me faith. Like, anytime I'm like, oh, I just can't do it. Like, I'm at the end, something random will happen where I'm like, oh, I guess I can keep going.
Yeah.
And I can keep going. And now it's 4 years later. I'm like, wow, like somehow I'm still going and I'm learning. And like this year, it's like, I don't know how many of those like little tiles have to come up this year. I feel like it'll be a lot easier. Like,
that's the thing though. If you knew all the things that you had to put into it in advance, you probably wouldn't take that step.
Yeah.
No. You would just be like, oh, screw that. I'm going this way. Like, I don't want to put in that much work. But because you have that faith, you just kind of take it as it comes day to day. so you don't psych yourself out. And I think just believing that something is going to work out for you, whether it's this or whether that goes in the toilet and then something totally new comes up over here. And I think we can all profess that that's happened at some point in our entrepreneurial journey.
Oh yeah. Like I started with FBA and it's like I did okay. Like I did I think I did 120K sales. So that was like sales. It wasn't like the actual take home pay. It was like how much the sales were. So in merch, like we only talk about royalties. So it's much more accurate. In FBA, you're like, yeah, I did 1 million sales or whatever. I did 120K. It sounds cool, but it's like 120K is like nothing really once you really get into it. But it felt like a lot, like you're packing so many boxes and you're working so hard and everything. But that led to merch. And then through merch, you know, who knows what it's going to lead to, but it's just meeting all those people and growing. Each step you're growing, you're learning more about e-commerce. So
I love the doors opening. You're just like, oh, I didn't know how this was going to work out, but now I see it.
Yeah. When a door shuts, a window opens or something, whatever that quote is. Another thing I totally didn't believe in until being an entrepreneur. Then I'm like, oh, I totally understand that quote now. 100% get it.
What about you, Bree? What's in store?
Oh yeah, the mustard seed. Somebody said the mustard. Can I just really quick before you start tell a mustard seed story?
Do it.
So this is how little faith I had. I was like 7, maybe. I was a kid old enough to have like thoughts about things, but like still like definitely a kid. So maybe 7 or 8. I don't know. I heard that story about the mustard seed thing at church or somewhere. So I was like, I wonder if I have as much faith as a mustard seed. Like this was legit. Like I gotta test this out. So I went into my yard and there was this like cable box kind of thing in the yard. And I was like, I'm gonna see if I can get it to move. And I just stared at it and I'm like, okay, move. And it didn't move. And I'm like, don't have faith as much as of a mustard seed. And that was it. Like I just was like, nope, I didn't think it was gonna move to begin with. It didn't move. I don't have faith as much as a mustard seed. No. Oh my God. How a 7-year-old thinks.
Through my mind now, I'm thinking about something, you know, Luna's 6, so thinking about how she sees the world.
I was like, I'm pretty sure I don't have faith as much as a mustard seed, but I'm gonna check it out.
I'm gonna run this experiment.
But all right, who hasn't gone? Amy? Bree? Who wants to go?
Yeah, I'll go.
Okay.
You know, for me, I don't know that I'm necessarily, I mean, yeah, I love January and, you know, I get as motivated and as pumped up as everybody about, you know, goals and resetting goals, but I try to make that like super common, you know? And so I think for me, I have really, speaking of seeds, planted the seeds for a lot of things that are going to then now just continue to flourish and grow in 2019. And so I think that's where I am, is in the nurturing stage. And so D4D is still a baby. Designfordollars.com, I mean, gosh, was it July? I mean, and now to have all of these employees and artists and team members and affiliates, and so that needs a lot of attention. And so I want to continue to grow that. Number one, because it helps the community and helps people like me that can't do all of these things, like design for themselves. And it provides quality material and products and tools to use, because that's another thing. It's not my first rodeo in e-com. And I know how hard it is to wade through the waters of trying to find like legit stuff that you can use to help you in your e-commerce journey, and particularly with designs. And I'm like really having a lot of fun connecting with people in the community who then end up being part of the D4D team. And so it's like, you know, it was incredible how I met Christina. It's been incredible how I've connected with a lot of the people that now are employees or partners or whatever. So I want to continue with that for sure, and just make it even bigger. And also help pull in even more community members. There are a lot of people that are on Merch by Amazon that actually work for us part-time as a side hustle. And then they have their Merch by Amazon accounts too. And they're looking at things like, joining us in the brandability program and growing their brands. So definitely my baby D4D with Aaron and Duncan, gonna feed that thing next year. I really want to continue doing consulting and working with people. And so like in the past 18 months, I've done that on a project one-on-one basis. I've done some work with co-consulting with Brendan Zart or with Duncan and Aaron. And I've done like strategy sessions with people. And so I want to continue to do that. It's fun for me because of my teaching background. And I feel like I've been like this little hermit for like 8 years, after leaving teaching and like going through the growing pains of growing these businesses online and learning so much. And I feel like this little butterfly that's like ready to come back out. And now I'm like, you know what? Like I taught for a long time and like I felt like I had fallen out of love with that profession and then found myself again with entrepreneurship and business development and marketing online. And then like now those two things have come together and the marriage of the two of them just makes me know I'm in the right place. Like my life makes sense and I'm enjoying what I'm doing. And so I just want to continue to do that, continue to build the personal brands that I'm building in the background. I've got my own, Brianna Moller Greene brand. I've got several brands that I've made you guys privy to, like Fast Life Full Throttle. There are a lot of brands that I'm working on with clients and with business partners too. And so I don't know, 2019 is looking amazingly crazy. I'm super pumped. Like Helen, I'm going to continue to do the travel thing. Already my travel schedule is looking like almost every month. But I'm excited about that. And actually, Helen and I chatted briefly before the show because, and I know that there's a lot of people out there that this resonates with. And Amy, I know this resonates with you. It's a hard balancing act, having a child or multiple children and like trying to do this whole thing because there is that flexibility of working here. And like, I'm here with her during the day and I'm here with her on the weekends. But then there's that guilt associated with like, oh my gosh, like I have to travel. Is that a selfish thing when you want to travel and, you're trying to help people and like, just trying to make that balance, but I am looking forward to helping as many people as I can and, just getting out and speaking and, I'll release more information about that when all of the details are set in stone, but I'm excited. So just continue where I am and just scale and to grow personally too. Who knows what I'll be into by like April. I'll probably
We'll be hitting our 1 year anniversary in April.
Yay! We gotta have a big celebration.
I like how my birthday is always going to be associated with Merch Money now, at least for me in my head.
Yeah.
Every year it's like, oh, my birthday, but more importantly, Merch Money birthday.
Yay. It'll come up quick.
Yep. So, all right, Amy.
Okay, so 2019. I have big plans for me, I think. I definitely want to start building a brand on Etsy. I plan on taking J and D's course and just focusing on building that niche specific store from the ground up, I guess. I've never done anything like it. And I like the idea of having a little bit more control, but still having the training wheels on. So excited about that. Merch is definitely my, like I told you, it's like my little pride and joy. It's my baby. So definitely going all in still, full speed ahead. I would love to hit 20,000 tier next by this time next year. Yeah, like I would just love that to happen. And continue to give value to the community. And I kind of want to do more of that. I know I like kind of come in with spurts, like I'll post things in the group, but I definitely want to be a little bit more proactive and intentional with that on a regular basis. I think seeing the success and the way that I've grown this year, it makes me look at the year ahead in a way that, wow, I really do have like some things to contribute. I can really make a difference in other people's, business and and things like that. So that's a big deal for me as well. KDP, which, you know, we've talked about, definitely want to do more on there. I want to make coloring books. So I don't know.
Awesome. That would be fun.
I'm still trying to force Amy into creating art for D4D as well.
I know.
But listen, no, I get it. I have my own agenda in my head of where I'm going with things as well. So, but I won't ever like stop bugging you because your art's amazing.
And you know, so I appreciate that. Like that is a great compliment, and I do appreciate that so much. I honestly, you know, I sit here and it's like time. I'm not the best at time management, you know. I do try my best to like steal minutes when I can, but it's like I have all these things I want to do and get into, and where is the dang time? Like I haven't found it. I need like another 24 on top of the first one.
I'll share something
you have because you got to 10K here. Wait, no, or whatever. You sold 10K, and
I have officially sold 10,258 shirts.
Woo!
My 10,000th product. I was over the dang moon because I remember when I was first starting out on merch, and some of the big dogs, they were in the 10 and 12,000 tiers, and I was just like, oh, like. I want that. Like, that's where I want to go. And then when it happened, like, what was it, yesterday or the day before, I was just floored. I was just like, oh my goodness, the holy grail. And then it's like, one thing I've always told myself, if I can sell one shirt, I can sell 10 shirts. If I can sell 10 shirts, I can sell 100. If I can sell 100, 1,000, 10,000. Well, guess what? I just sold 10,000. I can sell 100,000. So
you can.
Absolutely.
So I'm just excited.
Do you do anything like to kind of motivate yourself? Like, this is just a little silly thing that I always do with all of my accounts. I did it with Amazon. I do it with merch. Is I would snapshot my benchmarks just for myself on my desktop so that I could be like, am I getting close to my benchmark? And like, you know, I've looked at that thing 5,000 times, but to have it on there and to look and be like, yep, that was my sales goal. Like I gotta work towards beating this, or, you know, one-upping myself. Do you do anything like that too?
I'm kind of backwards. I take snapshots of like all my little milestones. And then if I'm feeling like it's kind of, I don't like stagnant or whatever, like things aren't moving, I can look and be like, look what I did. Like I did that. So, I mean, this little hurdle, like,
I like
piece
that
of cake
perspective. Yeah.
But I like the idea of putting it where, okay, this is where I want to go, and having that reminder too. So I might have to borrow that now.
Like stealing other people's screenshots when they're like, I hit 10K. And then like, you know, then you're like, this is my fake screenshot over here, but I'm going to look at it every day. That's kind of how I picture it.
You know what? Of course, sorry, this totally derails the conversation. Helen, I'm totally thinking of, I absolutely love Jameson and his photoshopping abilities.
Oh my God. And I don't even think it's Jameson. I think it's, oh my God, I'm forgetting his name all of a sudden. Sean? Something, I think his name is Sean. Somebody else photoshops everything and always like they always are like talking back and forth with each other. They're always doing
Shawn
like
Michael?
your mama jokes, and now like the moms are friends with them on Facebook, and we're like, oh my God, now they see all your mama jokes.
Well, like the Photoshop stuff, like when Amy said the Photoshopped numbers, like they're hysterical.
They're
like
so funny, the Photoshop things. Yeah, they did. Oh my God, that's a whole nother thing.
Yeah, you can Photoshop all sorts of things nowadays.
Hey, that's another goal for me this year. Photoshop. I'm learning that thing.
Awesome.
You're awesome.
That's too much for me.
And I think all of us need to remember, like just see, like for people who are just starting now, just see where all of us were a year ago. Like this is not a lot of time where it's like big changes. And I think
worth living is a life worth journaling, guys. Like I
love that.
A huge Tupperware thing right here. You can't see it, but filled with journals. I've been documenting my entrepreneurial stuff since 2015, and I got a whole tub of stuff now.
Wow.
But I looked through it the other day from 3 years ago. This time of year, 3 years ago, there was some big stuff going on in my life, and I was like, let me read this. Like, let me pick up on some hints of what was on my mind and what I was thinking about, what I was working on. And it really gave me some clarity. So, like, I encourage people to do that. Well,
listen, Amy, FYI, you're privately blogging.
I was just thinking that. Oh my god.
No. What I write is like my action steps, and I think things out. Like, okay, here's this huge goal. Let me write 20 ways to do it. It's not like, well, today I sat down, dear diary. It's not like that. Like, it's always like looking into the future, because I realized that diaries as I knew them was like the backwards way of journaling. Like, you should be writing your future. You shouldn't be writing your present, because that's already been done. Write your future.
I travel with a shabby notebook, which is basically it. I don't as purposefully journal, but it certainly has kind of like the same, I'm doing it for the same reason. I like to build things in there and work out my workflows and my systems and make comments to myself. And you know what's funny? I often don't go back and read any of it. It's just that I had to get it out and on paper, and then it kind of cements it a little bit more mentally for me.
If you want to take it to a whole new level, go to the store and get a sketchbook. I started doodling with markers and like I was
my eye
sideways. Because I was so like used to the line.
I could do abstract stuff.
Yeah, it was more fun.
Yeah,
when I wanted to get crazy.
I'm loving
that. You could like draw charts and stuff.
That's exactly what I was doing.
Yeah, all right, I can handle that.
Mind mapping.
Mind mapping. There you go.
I like just the shows for journaling. Like, it's so fun to see where we were in April and now where we are now, and it's like it'll be fun to see the whole. Like, I feel like now I'm documenting my life in a way. At least Yeah. So I'm happy about that. And I'm looking at the chat. Everybody wants us to have a conference. I'm so excited about that. So that is like, I've already been thinking about that for like the past year. Like, I want to do a conference. And so I've been like
the first episode, she's like, let's do this.
Yeah. I've been watching Rick's every move for getting this Merch UK conference going. So I'm like, I think I could do that. Like, so yeah, guys, I definitely have it. I don't know if it'll be this year or not, but it's definitely something I'm learning how to do. So it'll happen eventually.
It'll be amazing.
Right on the money here. 902.
Wow. She said Nashville. Nashville would be a good place.
Ooh, that'd be
Nashville's fun. I wouldn't. Yeah, that's kind of like centrally located. A lot of people could probably make that.
I'd be down for some Nashville. I've never been to Nashville, just Gatlinburg.
Nashville,
cute town. It's kind of like Austin, but like smaller.
It's very small because there's only like one like main strip. If you're talking about, like, what most people think of with Nashville. I'm sure Nashville as a city is bigger than that, but Teresa's saying has lots of campgrounds. She's always with their
Emily said Austin.
That's a good idea, Teresa.
I'm down for Austin. That's like in my backyard almost.
Well, my family will travel trailer down. Teresa, we can park next to each other.
That would be great. Oh my god, amazing.
Party at the campsite. No.
Yeah.
No more raves. People do raves on the beach here in Florida, and then they get shut down. Yeah.
Oh my god.
I was trying to go to one, and my husband would be out fishing late at night. He was like, "Next one I go and I see one, I'll come home and I'll pick you up and we'll go."
How do you figure out where it stops and ends when it's on the beach? The last person and the first person, right? Like, they just wander?
I don't know. They just get crazy. And he's like, I don't know. They're just out there and there's music blasting. But then he's like, last time there was cops and like tape up. And he was like, I think something bad happened. I was like, okay.
That's Florida. Comes out, the party's over.
We laugh too much on this show, guys.
Oh, I know. It's so great. I love it. So, and some people comment and they're like, oh, well, it's too much talking. We just want the like straight how-to. I'm like, this is not a how-to channel.
Like, too much talking.
Yeah. Like we the how-to we post like on my personal channel, I'll post like how-to videos, and in the Facebook group, we'll give specifics. This is more a channel where we're just talking about like bigger picture stuff, and we're interviewing people.
Listen,
and
if you're
things
not
like
going to
that.
listen to us talk for an hour, you're not going to listen to a how-to for an hour. So we do how-tos that are short for you.
Yeah.
I'll follow all our individual stuff. We all do how-to stuff.
Yeah.
Follow all our stuff if that's what you want. And we're here for the spirit of funness.
Yeah. It's been, oh my gosh, it's so fun. And I feel like it makes me know the people better too that we're interviewing, because it's always a fun show. You get to learn more about the person than what you knew before.
Absolutely. It makes you slow down too. I mean, come on, like we're all working like at warp speed sometimes behind the scenes, and a lot of communication nowadays is through email and messenger. Like it's nice to slow down and have a real conversation. Yeah.
Teresa said they could shut their pie holes. That was the perfect comment for that.
I love it.
Oh gosh.
So we already hit the hour. What do you guys think? Is there more stuff you want to talk about, or guys? This is the last show for 2018. I hope all of you guys have a wonderful Christmas and New Year's and all of that.
Ladies. And everyone watching, I hope you guys have an amazing holiday season.
And stop taking stuff like too seriously. Everybody's like, oh, my numbers, I gotta work hard and like slave away. And I'm like, when I started to shift to doing only things I enjoyed and loved, my income went up. Yeah. And I guarantee it'll happen for you.
And I think
like, you gotta have fun.
How you feel is so important. So I think it's good to take a week off or take a few days at least and just enjoy your family and change the pace a little bit, because sometimes you end up finding stuff for your business, like especially in our business where it's print on demand. Like if you're out doing stuff and you see other people's shirts and you're like, oh, that's a great idea, or you get all these ideas because you stop for a minute and pause, and it allows your brain to like think of stuff.
That, like a recharge.
Yeah. So don't be afraid to take some days off and have fun and just get into the holiday spirit.
Even people like Bill Gates, he takes off like 3 weeks, I think, at the beginning of the year, and goes into a cabin and just brings like 25 books with him.
Yeah.
I'm like,
see, if Bill can do it, you can do it too.
Yes. That's right. And it doesn't have to be 3 weeks. It could be a day.
Yeah.
But, just
a day.
Shut off a day for an hour, baby step.
Yeah, don't upload for a whole day. See if you can make it through.
Oh my gosh. No, take it further. Don't check your sales numbers.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I did that. I turned my phone off yesterday and I felt so good.
It is. It's a weird, I can't, it's very hard for me.
It was extremely hard. I turned it on at like 3:30 p.m. But I had it off that long, like from the beginning of the day till it was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I think
I'm definitely going to do that. Have set blocks of time like that next year, because I got distracted by Facebook so much this year, especially with like the group being new and everything. Like I wanted to be quick with replying to everybody, but I think when you have uninterrupted blocks of time, that's really helpful. Yeah.
So here's to 2019, and we'll be back on January what?
It's like January 7th or something, like, because New Year's falls right on the 1st, I think.
Which
well,
is
of
Monday.
Course. Oh my God, that's the stupidest thing I've ever said in my life. I meant to Monday.
To catch it.
I was like, yeah, it does. Yeah, you're right.
Everybody was just going with it, like, oh yeah, it does fall on the 1st.
She's right, it does.
But I meant the Monday.
Let me put that in my calendar. Oh, it's already there.
But yeah, no, the Monday. So it's going to be January 7th, the first Monday we're back.
Oh, we might have to do an impromptu like live or something.
I know something crazy should happen with merch, so we're like,
we can use my Be Live account really super easily now too. If we don't want to do like a Google Hangout like this, there's a nice 4-person panel thing that we can do and just pop into Facebook real quick.
Yeah, so that'll be a surprise if we do that. We might have to surprise you all and be like, we're here.
Might even be a surprise to some of us here.
Yeah. Like, no, guys, go back to your families. It's Christmas. Leave me alone.
Right.
free. Stop messaging. It's 6 a.m. on Christmas morning.
Well, I know if I'm ever like really lonely, because sometimes I wake up at like 4:30 or 5, and I'm like, who would be on? And I'm like, oh, Bree and Helen.
Yeah, we'll be there.
They're like the only two people on Facebook at that hour.
We're around.
I love waking up early because then at least it is by accident uninterrupted time blocks.
That's why I like it too.
Yeah.
Nobody's bothering me that time.
Peaceful.
Except now I know so many people in other countries, so now it doesn't matter. They're messaging all different times. So it's not really uninterrupted anymore.
There was something I realized before I became an entrepreneur, but when I was working towards that when I got up early, I felt really good about myself because I realized I had gotten so much work done before people even sat in their desk chair at the office.
It always feels like bonus, anything you get done.
Yeah, and then I'm exercising, and then like today I got up at like 4:45, and I'm sitting at my computer at like 10:30, and I already had finished like 90% of the stuff on my list.
Yeah.
I mean, I still found plenty to do the rest of the day, but I was just like, well, dang, if that doesn't really make me feel good.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well, I guess we can end it there, right?
Yeah.
I know it's gonna be it's just the longest we're gonna hopefully ever go is 2 whole weeks. So, but we will be here in 2019 for everybody, and I can't wait. It's gonna be the year of starting brands for me.
It's gonna be exciting to see how we all grow, and the group and everybody in there too. So
yeah.
And
happy holidays
2019. Yeah.
2019. And thank you so much for everybody that's in the chat. And 2019. We had to have that.
I'm gonna have official noisemakers for 2019.
Yes. So thank you so much to everybody who is in the Facebook group and everybody watching right now, everybody in the chat. You guys have made it such a fun year. Like without all of you guys, it would definitely not be the same.
Absolutely true.
You guys rock. Thank you guys.
Yeah.
So, and if any of you guys that are in the chat want to be on the show, just message me and let me know. We are booked through February, but I love to have new people that are not necessarily known in the community yet. So don't be afraid. Just message me and we'll talk about it.
Yeah, let's get together and I'll chat.
Yeah.
We can laugh and talk.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks, guys. We'll see you in 2019.
Have a good night, guys.
Good night.
Bye.